Now, shutting down schools just to observe Ramadan is one of the irresponsible action any government can take. Shutting down schools just to observe Ramadan for the period of 1 month is quite mischievous. Now, there is no any justification reason why schools should be shut down. The academic calendar should be disrupted or truncated in this process. Staying for 1 month means you are taking up to 5 weeks of the school calendar from the students. I know what that means. They will be missing a lot. I don't see any justifiable reason besides being mischievous or having any ulterior motive. Any government that embark on shutting down schools, varsities, because they want to observe Ramadan. This is not the first time. Neither will it be the last time Ramadan will be observed in this country. I was born, of course, and spent my early days in the north, precisely Kano State, where I have observed several Ramadan processions or whatever that is. Why should this set of leaders within the north becoming more controversial and mischievous? They're becoming more mischievous because it is stepping on the fundamental rights of the people. Now, if you are observing Ramadan, that is for the Muslims. Ramadan is meant for the Muslims adherents and the Muslims faithfuls. So, under no circumstances should you, because of Ramadan, impose such sanctions on other people who do not express or share such religious belief. You can't, because of Ramadan, you are shutting down schools. Now, let's discuss this issue. What is the population of these Muslim children in the school? When you take the statistics of the population of the Muslim students in Kano State precisely, you know that it is far less than compared to the Christian communities or number of Christian children in schools. You are shutting down, including Christian schools. It's quite unacceptable because you perhaps think you are in control of power and you can use the power to do whatever you think and get away with that. Not considering the implication, the adverse effect that we have in the life of these children as far as their academic calendar and cycle is concerned, because the disruption of this will definitely affect them. And being that they are just preparing towards their exams and the rest of them. So there's no any justification except that could be permissible as on the basis or in a situation where there is threat to the life of the children or the pupils or the students and their teachers. So if just because you want the people to observe Ramadan, the students, who are the students that will observe Ramadan? Are they not Muslim students? Now, how many of these Muslim students attend secular schools? That is the truth. How many of them have been enrolled in Christian schools, secular schools, and the rest of them that warrant such directives to be given? And now, those enforcing the same directives are not Nigerian police, but Hisbah, meaning the Islamic policemen, Islamic militias, or whatever you call them. These are the ones enforcing closing down schools, including Christian schools. What has Christian to do with Ramadan? Inasmuch as we preach religious tolerance and the rest of them, but the Muslim observers are fanatics, majority of them. They don't want such tolerance to be observed. The respect of each other's right to religious affiliations has been trampled and truncated within Nigeria. Reasons why most of the crisis and killings is religious based or related. How could a sitting governor who understands that Nigeria is a secular state, besides being a secular state, children should not be denied their right, the opportunity to education, being that the North is considered to be backwards in terms of education and the rest of them. Now you are now deepening and widening the gap. It means you are not sensitive to the yearnings of the students. Asking them to go because of Ramadan, they should stay indoors for 30 days or more does not justify, of course, any point. Now, if you must observe Ramadan, it should be strictly based on Islamic faithfuls. Those adherents of Islam should abide by the tenets of Islam. You can't force it on a Christian. It is never done anywhere, except you are looking for trouble, except you are trying to cause a religious war, except you have other ulterior motive or notions why you embark on this. Of course, this is not the first time Ramadan is being observed. So why should this be different? That you want the children to concentrate in, you can imagine that. Now, what is the percentage of these children that you want them to concentrate, that are enrolled in Christian schools, that are enrolled in secular schools? What is the percentage? And they're still telling us that over 20 million plus out of school children, the Alamajiris, are roaming the streets. So which other schools are we not aware of? Probably they have been enrolled into, that you want them to concentrate, to have time to concentrate. I don't understand. Is that what we should be discussing in this 21st century, where international community, the world has left Nigeria and Africa behind? We're still trapped in these primitive sentiments and parochial mindsets that have kept Nigeria stuck in the wheel of motionless and despair. Is that issues of importance to the people? So you have to dole out billions or trillions, whatever it is, so that you can dole out foods, saraka and the rest of them. Does that create any impact? But when you give a child education, you are preparing him for a better future, for a more responsible future. Yes, to become a responsible citizen and contribute to the development of the society and humanity at large. So anyone who has taken this inadvisably has to retract his path, because it is being mischievous, it's being insensitive and condemnable in its highest term. How could you say that a Christian schools that even pay taxes to the government should shut down, that remit taxes to the government, you collect taxes from them and other levies, they should shut down because you're observing Ramadan that nobody else have observed before you as a governor? It is unacceptable and should be condemned by all standards. And of course, perhaps the Christian communities have been docile and indolent and in fact inactive for so long, for several decades. Otherwise, such nonsense wouldn't have been tolerated. How could you enforce your own religious expression, opinion, or will on others? If there were a crisis or something that could any intel regarding any possible attack or whatever that would cause disruption of the public order and the rest of them, then that would have been okay. You cite a very cogent reasons and excuses, not just that you want the student to concentrate in Ramadan. They have been observing that. I am not against you practicing or observing your religious rituals and the rest of them, but you should not use it to inconvenience others. Just imagine a school, a state like Kano State, a state like Lagos State, have to shut down the entire school because you want to observe Ramadan. It should be based on personal conviction and adherence to the Islamic ordinances or tenets of faith, whatever it is. I am not bound by those rules or whatever opinion expressed because I am not an Islam. I'm not a Muslim. In as much as I respect each other's opinions and religious affiliations, that does not subject me to such unnecessary intimidation from any other religious faiths or affiliations. So it's highly condemnable. It is unacceptable. It is mischievous and reckless, especially in this 21st centuries. Even the Mecca, people travel to Mecca for Hajj and the rest of them. Have they shut the entire economy or the education system, or they don't have schools there? To shut down, even in Medina, they have to shut down for 30 days. Until the Ramadan is over, they will resume the process. Unfortunately, those people doing these things, their children are not schooling within Nigeria. They have been enlisted and enrolled in one of the best choice schools in Western Europe, America, the rest of them, Asia, and the rest of them. Now, the vulnerable and defenseless people should be subjugated, should be used as scapegoats to achieve whatever political intentions or narratives you may want to project. What difference does that make, if not for just the very sake of being mischievous? I think, the part the Christian community have taken to challenge that in the court of law could be considered as a welcome development, but that is really coming late because there have been issues of national importance that have been swept under the carpet by the Christian communities. They will tell us to go and pray. I was surprised they are not going to pray now. They resort to going to court to address the infringements of their fundamental liberty as humans and as citizens. This is the first time they are waking up. It is quite ridiculous and unfortunate that most Christian leaders are the reason why Nigeria is like this. That the reason why Nigeria has been destroyed because they failed to speak, they failed to take actions when needs demands. You are not going to court because your schools have been shut down. And now you are just waking up early. When Sharia was enshrined in the Constitution, you never resisted that. When you want to set up your own Christian courts, they shut down, they shut you down, and you went under the drain. And today you are coming up you are going to courts to address what? When the damage has been done. Because they believe they own Nigeria and they can do anything and get away with that. Christians are being killed, beheaded, and the rest of them for no justifiable reasons. Life of the citizens are being taken by mobs or religious mobs or fanatics, and such is not being addressed. They will keep quiet, pray. If they slap you here, turn here so that when they slap you, Why didn't they turn, let them come and slap them? One day they will tell them that, in fact, what they should have done, Seth, to make it very good so that there will be no distractions. The children perhaps will have enough time to pray very well. Is they will say that all churches should be shut down so that they will observe the Ramadan. It will enter their body, enter their bloodstream, and the rest of them. Then, by then, the Christian community will wake up that they have crossed the red line. It's quite shameful. It's quite unfortunate. I'm ashamed of most of the leaders who call themselves Christian leaders, who fail to act. Most of them will ask us to pray. So you didn't ask people to pray now. You decide to go to court and address issues. Your fundamental rights should be defended. Even Apostle Paul demanded that his right of woman and as a citizen must be respected. He demanded it when he was wrongly arrested or imprisoned, detained. He demanded even when they asked him to go. He said, no, you can't just insult me that way. I mean, you have the right. They will tell you, say, pray, pray, pray. God is in control. Of course, God is in control. He have given you wisdom. It's profitable to direct, but you fail to wallow in ignorance and deception. Christians would have been the light of the nation. Unfortunately, they are being swallowed by darkness and controlled by darkness. So what do you expect? Abnormalities, mishappenings, misrepresentations, and what is happening in this country, without any mincing words, without any doubt, means that Nigeria is finished, that there is no country called Nigeria. What should issues of importance, national issues, be defined by religion? Does religion bring development? If not, the North would have become the Eldorado, or perhaps might be competing with Saudi Arabia, Turkey, that are manufacturing, of course, making inventions and the rest of them. You have Turkey Airlines, they are Muslim, eventually become Muslim states. But the North, who that claims to be all the 19 states of the North or whatever, they don't have their own private jet, even flying or plane flying within Nigeria itself. So what has religion done if poverty-stricken populations are not being catered for? People impoverished are not given the opportunity for a better tomorrow, for a better future. They're being exploited, and by all means and by all standards. So what does closing down of schools, including Christian schools, what will it achieve? I don't think there's any benefit to that, if not for being mischievous and trying to subjugate other people. And after that, what next? So I hope that should be challenged vehemently, of course, using this instrumentality of law. But then the Christians has to wake up. The state has to be redefined, whether we are in Muslim community or Muslim country or what. Then let everybody part his way. Because you can't subject me to what I don't believe. My conscience and my will does not accept.